we love Noble headphones here on GearUp. They're, not the prettiest nor the most high-tech things on earth compared to the competition, but boy, do they sound like, I don't know, sweet baby Jesus singing right into your ears sometimes. So anyways, this is last year's Fokus Apollo. The SQ blew me away, especially for a wireless portable, but I had issues with it. And then enter this, the 2026 Fokus Apollo Pro, which Noble apparently claims to have fixed user complaints. And after spending a couple of weeks with this, I would say they fix user complaints, but just not mine. And I totally feel insulted. But in this video, we're going to talk about what has changed, what has not. For the most part, it is 90% of the older version, but let's dig in. The Noble Fokus Apollo Pro retails for $700 and it comes in two colorways. There's burgundy, which is like a reddish brown tone, as well as peacock, which combines blue and green together, which is one of my favorites. Now, the internals, for better or for worse, they're the same as the regular Apollo, meaning a dual driver hybrid setup, 40mm dynamic drivers and 14.5 planar mags on each side. The same Qualcomm QCC 3084 chipset with Bluetooth 5.3 as well, and the same codec support. Battery life on this thing, factory claims 60 hours. It's not that high. If you run this on LDAC, like my time with it, I got around 53.7 hours with ANC on, LDAC at 65% volume. The weight on this is 327 grams if you don't have a cable connected to it. So there are a couple of changes in the new model in terms of what's included in the box as well as hardware. For example, we have a new 3.5mm cable. It is fabric lined, the same length as opposed to a PU wrapped before. There's also a new ear pad. If you've looked closely at pictures and such, it is fabric lined as opposed to all leather before. Right there, it is supposedly more breathable, less grease and all that, easier to clean supposedly. And the other big change is the case. So this is the new one and this is the old one. Let me try to put it side by side. You can see it is narrower. It's lost its handle though. There is a carry loop right here, but it's lost a dedicated handle. But check this out, side by side, look how much thicker the OG was. The downside to that is the storage space on the inside is a lot less, but it's still able to store the same things as before. You have the 3.5mm cable that you sit side by side, the USB-C, as well as the same carry sack that carries a bunch of accessories like your boom mic, as well as the airline adapter with the wind jammer right there. Let me see what else. And also the 6.4 and the balance connector as well. All right, guys, we're outside doing the Bluetooth range test, and we have Milli Vanilli doing Yeah, I don't know what the fuss was back in the day. People were like, canceling them left and right for, fake voices and all that. But did you know the same producer behind them was the same guy behind Bonnie M? If you remember and was a fan of them, they faked their voices too. The background bass singer was actually the producer's voice, for example. And the girls' voices, some of them were fill-ins from other people. No one made a fuss of them back in the day. So anyways, that was my little 2 cents and soapbox moment. We're listening to the song, piping from the Pixel through Tidal into these Apollo Pros, of course. And let's take the headphones from the back of my house towards the side. Again, if your first time being here, this is a non-scientific test, but we do this every single time. Direct line of sight, for example, 25 feet away, no signal problems, and then we take it around the corner and see how far the signal lasts. This is an older house, 1856, so there's some stuff in there that may cause signal issues. Right now the signal is still going strong. Usually it ends by this window, but headphones usually have bigger antennas and they tend to last pretty good. Still going strong. Let me increase the volume a little bit because I have pass-through on right now. That might... Oh, I just got a left-right. We're around 70 feet away and I just got a left-right fluctuation, so I'm gonna call it. That's a nice range right there, actually. All right, you can see how these look on my head. I don't understand why this gap is here. It makes it look much bigger than it actually is, unless it really works for people with giant froze. But for me, I would like it to taper in a little bit. If they could just cut this band in a little bit, this little curve right in there, it'll look much better. But anyways, other than that, it's pretty comfortable. The compression is a little bit better as well as the previous gen, I would say. And the new padding has definitely helped. Would you take this running? I wouldn't, but in a pinch, if you have to chase your dog, if it ran off the leash or something, or chase your kid down the street, yeah, sure, why not? And you won't lose it. Run, 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 run. We're simulating how wind might affect the mics on the boom. How does that sound, guys? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. And this is without the wind jammer. And I'll keep it off. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. How does that sound? Now, if you want to compare how the regular Apollo sounds, be sure to check out the video up above. I did a very similar test, and you can watch it and go back and forth. I would say the SQ has gotten the voice quality has improved a little bit. Like my sibilances are more controlled. ENC, electronic noise cancellation. You can hear, I can still hear the cars and the trucks. Here comes a big truck coming this way. You can hear for yourselves how this is. I think there is a very slight cancellation going on. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. I could hear birds when I was testing in previous times. I could hear birds across the street and things like that. But when a car passes by between the headphone and that, there was some nullifying. So something is going on. And likewise, if I remove the boom mic, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. My voice quality is about the same. So I question really the need for this thing. Except, I don't know. One thing I did notice, it cancels out, or it seems to keep fan noises at bay. So if you have a noisy PC or an AC running, like if you're gaming or whatever, this will definitely work better than the internal mics. But other than that, for phone calls, for example, both are about the same. Let me know down in the comments which you prefer between the Apollo and this, and also between the mics. That would be an interesting conversation. And also the mute button is really nice and easily accessible. Anything else? Yeah, that's about it. Let's head back to the studio. Let's start with the downers first this time, because I'd rather end this video on a good note. Now, I know the saying that everything is bigger in Texas, and I'm using all these analogies because Noble is a Texas company. So the saying everything is bigger in Texas, right? But here, come on, this is getting ridiculous. Do I want to wear this in public? I know different heads gonna have different, opinions, but for me, I'm an average size skull and it looks kind of huge, and the gap between the head and here, there's so much airspace, it's not even funny. So yeah, I'm not wearing this in public anymore. I wore this the other day downtown last week, and I was cited by the police for obstruction of justice. Why? Because, well, apparently they were trying to chase down this homeless man who took their donuts, and they were running along the sidewalk. But because of how wide these were, the cops couldn't pass through. Yeah, the homeless guy was like weaving through under my legs and it got away, but the two cops just stopped dead in their tracks because this blocked the way. So yeah, crime in my city has gone up because of these things. I was joking, of course, but yes, the non-foldable large design is strictly for home or office use only. And that alone might kill it for many buyers, I would think. Color differences aside, this is the old and this is the new. And I really think the peacock variant is just absolutely like, stunning. But aside from that, the design and the materials are identical, guys. They creak even in the same exact location. Like on my regular Apollo, if I stretch it, sometimes after some use, it will creak here on the left. And this does the same. In fact, it has a new creak. I'm not sure if it will show up on camera. You hear that? You hear that? It's coming from the headband right here. So it never goes away unless I stretch it out far enough, but it comes back after a while. So yeah, it doesn't shout premium, and I had the same complaint about these things. The materials could be better, and the design could be a little bit more exciting to warrant the price, especially now it's $700. So there's that. The big differences right now, I guess visually, is the materials of the ear pad. So the old one is full leather all around, and now you have on the perimeter is leather, and here on the inside is breathable mesh fabric. So there's that. I'm putting a couple of items in the neutral territory only because they're basically the same from the older model, but they also don't take away from the whole experience negatively. First one is ANC. It has not changed. I would still give passive isolation really good on this one, but active noise cancellation, I'll give it a B- and pass through a B- as well. Yeah, they're not that hot compared to competition, and especially for this price, so something to take in mind. So if that's a big deal for you, and if you don't mind wearing this on a plane or something, you're not going to get like absolute tomb silence or like the same kind of noise cutting like a Sony WH-1000XM6 or a Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra or things like that, or Apple AirPods Max. So something to bear in mind there. And secondly is battery life too. It's really strong, but it hasn't changed. I don't think that's a negative thing or positive thing necessarily. It's still really right up there. I would say it's a positive, I guess. So there's that. Previously, I had mentioned how good the bass and mid-range is on this thing. That was the highlight. Everything, good news, has transferred over to the new model, but has been upped a couple of notches. So we talked about the gain, which is, you can take it or leave it, but treble and bass have joined the mid-range now. Like they have been given a slight massage and they're more pronounced. So it's everything just gels so much better together. I wish I can take this to bed every night, guys. It's really that good. Although it's so big, I can't sleep with it. So that, yeah. Anyways, when I listen to a song like Rise by Herb Alpert, or is it Alpert? Let me know down in the comments, but whatever. The subtle clang of the marimba, that thing, I've never heard the resonance of that marimba bar so cleanly and clearly on other devices than on this. It's really that, at least in this price range. It is so good, guys. As well as, on that song, there is the guitar by Pinnick and May in the background. The twangs when they pluck those strings. And because the guitars are purposefully like relaxed and chill and back in the background on this song, the fact that I can hear it so clearly and cleanly and so, gelled together is a positive thing and is a sign of how well this thing is sorted. And on another song, another extreme is Ghost Riders Make Us Stronger. That's a popular test song, right? And it's wonderfully rendered with crisp details and the broad soundstage, like when it goes left and right, and then the bass drop. Man, I'll tell you what, the sub bass and the bass kick on this, there's just like all-round confidence in its delivery. And I didn't think Noble would be able to massage a significant improvement to the tuning here, but this is proof they did it. And here's the thing, that's the kicker. $50 more. Yeah, that's hot, I'll tell you what. So go Texas. So here are my final thoughts, guys. If you're coming from the regular Apollo, I'll say skip this unless you're that kind of guy with plenty of cash to burn. If you do buy one though, you won't regret it, especially if you don't plan on using the Apollo Pro beyond the comfort of your property line. You're really coming here for the sound, after all, because everything else like the looks, the ANC performance, latest codec support, whatever, plus, the design and materials, they're all just mid. Now, price-wise, $700 is a crap ton to spend on headphones, to be honest. But here's the thing, too. In today's high-end wireless audiophile environment, the baseline, if you look around, is really around $500, $550, right? So this model sits on the average side of that scale. Sure, it's expensive, but not atrociously so. In terms of sound, which of these would I choose for things like music, movies, and gaming? So the Maxwell 2 is marketed specifically as a gaming headphone, but guess what? You already know this. This thing excels in music and general media consumption. And also, guess what? The Apollo, as we saw, has a boom mic, which makes it a, viable gaming option. But we also saw that the mic kind of sucks, so there's that. So if you're coming at this from, a mic quality side, yeah, go with the Maxwell. But if you're talking about SQ, well, that's a tough one because this kind of stumps me. Both of these are fantastic, but they have different qualities. So the Maxwell 2 has a higher treble, which is not grating, but it's more exciting in that sense. And the Apollo Pro, while it's bright, it's not, it's more neutral. And I like this more. My listening preference, I would lean with the Apollo versus the Maxwell. And in terms of bass, this thing hits hard, but it doesn't have that same control or precision as the Apollo as well. So there's that.